Hey everybody, welcome back. This is One More Thing. I am Jesse Dollemore. So I'm not going to do questions today. I'm going to save that until after the holiday. Happy, merry, thankful Thanksgiving, everybody. For those of you overseas, American Thanksgiving is this week, and I am taking a light load because of that. So you might not see me until Monday, but maybe you'll see me on Friday. I don't know. So I'm going to skip questions until then. I've actually received a whole bunch of questions from overseas and from foreigners outside of the United States, and I think that's fantastic. What I think I'm going to do is consolidate all of those questions and answer them all in their own video, just kind of talking straight to people outside of the United States. So let me know what you think of that. Like, comment, all that YouTube stuff. So there's a few things I want to talk about today. The first thing is about the rush through the impeachment inquiry that I think Democrats are making a mistake about. The second thing is Tucker Carlson and his asinine jackassery, and then Rick Perry and his cultish Donald Trump is the chosen one stuff. We'll start there. But what I want to start with first is the impeachment thing. Right now, the Democrats are getting ready to start the Judiciary Committee portion of the impeachment committee, of the impeachment inquiry with Jerry Nadler, Congressman Nadler from New York. And I think it's a mistake. I think they're moving way too quickly for the sake of some strategic end. And that's not what we want right now. What we want and what we need as a country is for them to do this correctly and for them to do this thoroughly. We don't want to be in a position like we were with the Mueller report, because Mueller didn't require Donald Trump to sit for an interview. There were several instances of people who didn't actually sit for interviews, and we don't want that. A court just ruled that Don McGahn, White House counsel, former White House counsel, must testify. He must comply with the subpoena, which indicates that other members of the administration who thus far have been refusing to comply with legal subpoenas, that they're going to have to too. That includes Mick Mulvaney and all of the other ding-dongs who have said they don't want to or are refusing to at the behest of Donald Trump or for some other personal BS reason that doesn't fly. A federal judge has ordered it so. So in the course of this impeachment hearings, we have learned about new witnesses. We have David Holmes was something that we learned from Sondland, or we learned from Bill Taylor, excuse me. And then we went to him and questioned him both privately and publicly. Why would we want to forego all of that information and evidence that we could gain by rushing to move this thing forward to a vote? I don't understand it. I think for the sake of thoroughness, we need to slow it down. You don't rush through an investigation. You find out everything there is to find out, all of the motives, all of the intent, all of the crimes, and then you move forward to prosecution. Setting some arbitrary holiday deadline isn't helping the cause, and I think the Democrats are making a mistake. So I would implore everybody out there, call your congressman, call your congresswoman, and tell them to slow this thing down. Nancy Pelosi has some kind of power here. She allowed it. She disallowed it. Now she's allowing it. Now she's allowing it to be taken up at this rapid pace. Something needs to be done to slow it down. So Adam Schiff, Jerry Nadler, those of you who are in charge, do the right thing here. We need a positive outcome, and some charge of partisan bias because we're rushing into this isn't going to be good for the process. So that is all. I wonder what you have to say. As always, you can leave me questions and comments, 714-576-4054, and also email to onemorething@dollemore.com. So the other thing I want to talk about, well, there are three other things. But first is Tucker Carlson. The other night on his show, I don't get Republicans, this particular flavor of Republicans. This man, this intellectual dirty wash rag of a human being, Tucker Carlson, goes on his show, has a guest, and they're talking about the Russia-Ukraine thing, the incursion of Russia, the attack, the invasion of Russia into its peaceful neighbor, Ukraine. And Tucker Carlson went on a childish, dipshit rant. Here it is.
So Hunter Biden did not. I know Hunter Biden. I actually like Hunter Biden, but that's totally corrupt, and you know it. Why is it worse to ask about it than it is to do it?
Because people are dying on the front lines. You think it's a joke?
Why do I care? Why do I care what's going on in the conflict between Ukraine and Russia? And I'm serious. Like, why do I care?
I'll tell you why.
And why shouldn't I root for Russia, which I am?
Because those of us who are watching, myself, who think preserving democracy is important. When Dick Cheney said what the Russians did was an attack,
I don't care.
It was a warlike attack on the U.S., and I think if Donald Trump gets off the hook on this, he's going to put the arm on the Chinese and everybody else.
What is happening? This individual, this man, I don't care, I'm a spaz, has his own major talk show on Fox News. If this is what passes as intellectualism, the right is in very, very dire straits. Because first of all, not caring about Russia, our adversary, not caring about them invading their neighbor after they invaded our country through interdiction or interference in our democracy, all that says to me is you don't understand clear international threats. You don't understand international relations. You white supremacist goon, Tucker Carlson. To say you're rooting for Russia, you may as well say you're rooting for North Korea. You're rooting for communist China. You feckless moron, an unbelievable moron, who then I guess 45 minutes later retracted it and said he was kidding, but he said in the video, and I'm serious. I don't care about Russia invading Ukraine. I'm rooting for them. I'm serious. Every one of these Republicans thinks they have it, the privilege of that Donald Trump carries with him, that everything he says with a serious face and a serious tone can then just be ignored or walked away from later as though they were, just JK. JK, everybody. And yet he still has a job. Fox News still employs him. Rupert Murdoch and the Sons at Fox News, at News Corp, they allow this kind of batshit insanity to go on night after night. Un-American, white supremacy, cozying to our enemies under the guise of some journalistic integrity. Well, I don't even know that he even purports to have journalistic integrity. Anyway, it's disgusting. The other thing is this Rick Perry. Look, Rick Perry has long been known as one of the dumber members of the Republican Party. Even Donald Trump attacked him for how stupid he was, saying something like, he's wearing glasses so you'll think he's smart. Rick Perry was on Fox News the other night and went on this rant about Donald Trump actually being the chosen one.
God's used imperfect people all through history. King David wasn't perfect. Saul wasn't perfect. Solomon wasn't perfect. And I actually gave the president a little one-pager on those Old Testament kings about a month ago. And I shared it with him. I said, Mr. President, I know there are people that say, you said you were the chosen one. And I said, you were. I said, if you're a believing Christian, you understand God's plan for the people who rule and judge over us on this planet in our government.
What do you do with that? Is it just me who thinks it is just wildly perverse to commingle religion and politics in this way. That if you're a true Bible-believing Christian, you understand, what did he say, that you understand God's plan for the people who rule over us and judge over us. First of all, dickface, Donald Trump doesn't rule over us. This is a citizen government. And he certainly isn't our judge. He may be for you. You may have given him that lofty status, but he does not rule over me. He helps to run the government, which seems to be antithetical to the way the Republicans believe that the government is we the people. That it isn't the government lording over us and ruling over us. Why is it, now I'm asking questions, why is it that Republicans are just A-OK with this kind of nonsense? It's been said a million times since Donald Trump took office. But what if someone was to act like this about Obama? What if someone was to say that Barack Obama is the chosen one? And don't judge. Don't level criticism against him. Because even God used imperfect people. And then he lists prophets of the Bible. Saul and Paul. King David. Comparing those men of the Old Testament age to Donald Trump, the adulterer, the tax cheat, the alleged rapist. Come on. This is like a cartoon. Speaking of Obama, this is the other thing I want to talk about. Another kind of a warning here. Politico, Ryan Lizza just wrote an article entitled "Waiting for Obama. The Democratic establishment is counting on him to stop Trump and perhaps stave off Bernie as well. But can his cerebral policies still galvanize voters in an age of extremes?" So I think this could be, if indeed this reporting is correct, and it kind of conflicts itself with some of the quotes in here. But let me read from this article, and I want your opinions. Let's talk about this in the comments. These are from 3 separate paragraphs in the article on Politico. You could pause, find the article, and follow along if you like. Publicly, he has been clear that he won't intervene in the primary for or against a candidate unless he believed that there was some egregious attack. I can't even imagine with this field how bad it would have to be for him to say something, unquote, said a close advisor. Instead, he sees his role as providing guardrails to keep the process from getting too ugly and to unite the party when the nominee is clear. There is one exception. There is one potential exception. Back when Sanders seemed like more of a threat than he does now, Obama said privately that if Bernie were running away with the nomination, Obama would speak up to stop him. And then parenthetically, asked about that, a spokesperson for Obama pointed out that Obama recently said that he would support and campaign for whoever the Democratic nominee is. Last year, Obama let it be widely known that he would not make his preference known, or in the phrase that his close advisors frequently use, put his thumb on the scale. It wasn't just Biden who was disappointed. Holder was particularly wounded that his close friend wasn't more encouraging of his own ambitions. And then lastly, when it comes to Sanders, I asked one close advisor whether Obama would really lay himself on the line to prevent a Sanders nomination. I can't really confirm that, the advisor said. He hasn't said that directly to me. The only reason I'm hesitating at all is because, if Bernie were running away with it, I think maybe we would all have to say something, but I don't think that's likely. It's not happening, another close Obama friend said. Bernie's not a Democrat. Well, listen, I'm a nobody. But I would encourage President Obama, if this is true, to be quiet, to stay silent throughout the primary process. And I think, obviously, he's a smart enough man to do that. I don't know what these advisors that they're quoting are actually coming to relative to their actual knowledge or his actual words. Because if he sees, as the article said, if he sees his role as providing guardrails to keep the process from getting too ugly and to unite the party when the nominee is clear, then he will let the process work itself out. Because the thing that will make the process ugly is to interfere, as many believe the DNC did during 2016, and put their thumb on the scale for Hillary Clinton and make it difficult, which was obvious. That's not even in contention. Make it difficult for Bernie Sanders relative to the primary and caucus process across the country. This amended process of superdelegates, having longtime Hillary Clinton friend Debbie Wasserman Schultz as the DNC chairman. All of this was a problem. And I think that it would be wise for party muckety-mucks, Barack Obama and otherwise, to not try to get in the middle here, not try to lay down guardrails for anything. Let the Democratic Party pick its nominee. It would be fundamentally undemocratic for a former president or any party leader to try to exert their will and their influence over this election. We don't have kingmakers. That's not how we run. That might be great for the Republican Party, but we're better than that. So look, ultimately, I think that Obama will do the right thing with this, and I hope that Ryan Lizza from Politico is a little off base. But I would just caution against that. Anyway, if you've been hearing snoring, it is because my bulldog is a snorer. And he has to be at my feet. So anyway, that's all. I would encourage you to sound off. Give me some feedback. Again, 714-576-4054 is the phone number. You can leave a brief question or comment there. And also, you can email me at One More Thing. I appreciate you guys. Thanks so much for joining me here and with the Dollemore Daily. It's moving that we're building such a movement here and a community around these two dumb shows. So happy Thanksgiving for those of you in the United States, and happy holidays, happy Thanksgiving if you're outside of the United States. I don't think you have to be an American to stop and express some gratitude for that which you're thankful. It certainly doesn't take a single particular day to make it happen. So. The other thing, as I finish here, I would encourage you, if you're still here with me and you found some value in what I do, I would ask you to think about becoming a channel member to support my independent media efforts here on YouTube. You can click the little button down there. It says join. If you're on your iPhone, it doesn't work. I think you have to actually log in to your desktop to do it. But the other thing I say is that if I was able to marshal the size of my audience, I just crossed 150,000 subscribers, which is heartwarming. I don't know how to say it, not sound cheesy. It really means a lot to me. It's unbelievable. If I was able to marshal the size of my audience, I could be completely unfazed, unbothered. It would never ever come into the calculus of what the things I talk about. It really doesn't now, but it really wouldn't make a difference if I was able to get, several thousand people at $2 a month. I could hire a producer. This whole operation would change. We could start doing daily live shows on top of the scripted green screen content. So anyway, I love you guys. Happy Thanksgiving. Again, I'd love to hear from you. 714-576-4054, and One More Thing at Dollemore.com. See you later.